Hey Nathannitess, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about something been wanting to talk about for about a year now, and that is the Godzilla, Kong, and the Pacific Rim universe and how that could have been played together. Yeah, I said Pacific Rim. I'm going to get into that right now. And he wants to say hi. Why? Say hi. Say hi. No? Okay. Now, I am a big fan of the Godzilla series, at least this Godzilla series. I've never seen the old Godzilla series that was made in Japan. Now, I am a big fan of the Godzilla series, at least this Godzilla series. I've never seen the old Godzilla series that was made in Japan. With the human interaction playing, the monsters and all that. As you can see, I got Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. And of course, I got Kong Skull Island. To give you a little bit of a chronology, Godzilla came out first, 2014. This one, Kong Skull Island, came out 2017. King of the Monsters came out 2019. And Godzilla vs. Kong late last year, 2021. However, this movie was made in 2013. So now I'm going to get into this article that I'm about to show you. That came out in February 11th, 2021 by Daniel Alvarez. And the title is Pacific Rim 3 would have connected to the Godzilla vs. Kong universe. There's a really cool picture of that. So, according to Steven S. deknight, that was the director of Pacific Rim Uprising, Pacific Rim 3 would have ended with the connection to the Godzilla vs. Kong universe. The third Pacific Rim has been highly wanted by fans, but it doesn't seem to be happening after the lackluster performance of the second film. However, Pacific Rim is continuing in the form of anime series. Next month there is an animated series out on Netflix right now called Pacific Rim In the Black, I think it's called. There will be a second season of that coming out soon. It's a very, very good series. I did a review on it. I'll leave a link up here in the cards and at the end of the video. So, giant robots piloted by two individuals battling enormous monsters in the premise behind Pacific Rim. The first film disappointed at the box office, however it toured overseas. Pacific Rim had plenty of notable moments, from the first kaiju attack in the prologue to the Gypsy Danger holding a ship to combat Otachi. Although the sequel Pacific Rim Uprising wasn't well received, and to be honest, even I didn't like it. It had a couple of notable things in it. The Mega Kaiju certainly made for a great climax since the debut of the MonsterVerse in 2014, and probably before. Fans have wondered what would happen if Godzilla crossed paths with the Jaegers. Guillermo del Toro has stated interest in such a crossover. So personally, I think we had like a missed opportunity to create something that would have been really, really great. It was just the lackluster performance of Uprising. Again, I didn't like the movie. Even the action in that movie couldn't make up for the performance of the movie. You know, the actors and the story was just absolute trash. I didn't like the actors. I didn't like John Boyega in the movie. He just talked way too much, and I think that that killed the movie for me. I mean, Scott Eastwood, who happens to be Clint Eastwood's son. I think he did a good job in that, but there were just too many people with too much dialogue. Let's continue here. Although the MonsterVerse and Pacific Rim crossover doesn't seem likely, the Pacific Rim Uprising director Stephen S. DeKnight said a connection was actually his plan. Answering a fan about doing a crossover, DeKnight says Pacific Rim would have concluded with the way connecting both universes. And this is his tweet right here. Update, DeKnight has clarified that while this is his plan, it's definitely not what have happened. It was just an idea. That's just what his tweet right here says. DeKnight's statement is interesting considering what he said 3 years ago. In 2018, the Pacific Rim Uprising director said he had an idea for Pacific Rim and Godzilla crossover, but it was up to Legendary. It sounds like Pacific Rim 3 could have featured a connection in some way. It's interesting to consider how Pacific Rim and the MonsterVerse could work together. Timeline-wise, Godzilla can't exist in Pacific Rim due to the first recorded kaiju attack being in 2013. That's understandable. So the universes will likely be separate but cross over in some way. A fun idea is Godzilla falling into the portal leading to the Pacific Rim version of Earth, creating a new categorization of kaiju. It would be amazing if a Jaeger ended up in the MonsterVerse where not every kaiju is hostile. We've seen that in King of the Monsters. In King of the Monsters we saw Mothra, which was the most beautiful kaiju ever to come out of that MonsterVerse. Just my opinion. Where was I? Oh, either way, a crossover or connection would have to live on in imagination. At the very least, both the MonsterVerse and Pacific Rim is getting new content. Pacific Rim: The Black, that was the title, The Black, can hopefully lead to more Pacific Rim projects. Meanwhile, although Godzilla vs. Kong is the last confirmed MonsterVerse film, the universe will receive an animated show set on Skull Island. That I didn't even know about. That would be pretty cool. So I think that would have been really cool. I mean, there was an Easter egg in Godzilla vs. Kong where we get to see one of the villains, Dr. Shirazawa, which I don't know how that came about, was connecting himself with the pilot program in order to control the mecha Godzilla. And Pacific Rim, they had that same idea, only they're using two pilots, to share the connection of the Jaegers, so that the mind isn't overwhelmed by having to do all this movement, psychology and all that stuff. So they use two minds, two people to control everything, so it doesn't drain the pilot. So it's kind of like the pilot and co-pilot, so what I do also find interesting is that certain characters have come back in the films. Like in Godzilla, we had Ken Watanabe played Dr. Shirazawa, and Sally Hawkins, I've got the name of the character she played. They were both in Godzilla, and they were both also in King of the Monsters. Kyle Chandler was in King of the Monsters, and then he came back for Godzilla vs. Kong. Nobody from Kong Skull Island ever made a second appearance anywhere, but the idea of a hollow earth was started in Kong Skull Island, and then that got passed on to King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. So in that regard, I thought I would have wanted to see. I definitely would have wanted to watch this film. I'm a big fan of the MonsterVerse. Thanks to because of Pacific Rim. There have been other monster movies out there, but it hasn't lived up to my standards. I definitely like to see more of that. Just the ridiculous battles and the monsters that we'll see. I mean, if they can get creative with the monsters, imagine what they can pull off, right? It would have made. I honestly think it would have made a great franchise. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Would this been a good idea? I think it probably would have. I think it would have been a great franchise to boot. But stay tuned to the next video. I got some great news for you. So please, again, like this video, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and subscribe to the channel. And I will make more online martial arts reaction videos pretty soon. I just wanted to do this, get it out of the way, because this is something I really wanted to talk about. So that's all I got for you guys. So live long and prosper. May the force be with you. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. And I will see you guys on the bounce. Yeah.